All right, I think we're going to go ahead and get started now. So hello, my name is Dominic and welcome to the Paragon Auto Email class. Today we're going to be covering how to set up an automatic email notification system for a client in Paragon. So we are going to, through that, set up a contact, set up a search, and we are going to set up an automatic email notification system. All right, and so along the way, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them anytime by using the chat feature. Just type it in. You should see towards the bottom of your screen here in Zoom a chat icon where you can do such. I'll pause momentarily between different topics that we cover for questions, but again, feel free at any time just to write one in the chat. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and start by adding a contact, and we're gonna do this so that we have somebody to send this auto email notification to. So we'll go up here to contacts in our icon bay, and we will click add contact. And so in our contact window here, it's going to ask for a first name, last name. Those are the only things that are required. And then we'll also add an email because obviously we want to send this out. So just do test client here. All right. And so we're going to save that. All right, and so we got our little notification that we've successfully saved the contact, and it is going to take us to our contact page for this test client here. So this is going to be an important page to know how to navigate. So when we set up the automatic email system, we'll go over a little bit about this page then. So we're going to close this out for now, though, because we are going to set up a search for this client. So we will click on search. I'm going to conduct a residential search. All right. So I'll just input some information into the fields just to get a quick search going. So we're going to do all actives in Berkeley with 1.4 as our highest price that we are willing to pay here. We'll just click search and make sure that it matches kind of what we want to see. And this is indeed everything that's relevant to this search. So we'll go ahead and, excuse me, not click email. We're going to go ahead and save this search. So we've made sure that this search is what we want for our automatic email notification system to send to our client. We want them to have updates on this search. So we will save this search by hovering over the save icon in this bay of icons here. And we're going to click on save search as, not save search, but save search as. And that way we will have this little window pop up. And this would probably look pretty familiar to you if you've saved a search before, but it defaults to saving the search for yourself as a search that you can just load for yourself, which is not what we want to do. Obviously, we want to click on the contact button here. And that's going to give us this option so we can change the name of the search and assign it to a contact. So please keep in mind that when you name the search and it's assigned to a contact, the contact, when receiving updates about the search, will be able to see the search name. So you want to keep it something appropriate and ideally something identifiable so that the client knows exactly, what this is. We're just going to call this test search for right now, though. And you can begin to type in a contact name, or you can click on this spyglass icon to go through your contacts list. You can also add a new contact from here, but I think it's probably best practice to have your contact already created before you do your search. It just makes the whole process a bit easier, a bit more streamlined. So we'll click on that icon, and it will bring up all of our contacts. We use test client, so we'll save that. And then you'll see right up here, you'll see a couple options: save and notify and save. We want to do save and notify. Saving it would just assign it to the contact, but not enable notifications. We want to click on save and notify. And before I do that, I am going to just go in here and check our chat. Okay, no questions so far. Again, if you have any questions up till now, I'm going to pause for just a moment. Please let me know if there is anything that I can clarify on through this step in the process. Okay, seems like we might be good. Again, if anything comes up, just type it in there. So from here, we're going to click on save and notify. With that contact in the assigned to contact field there. So now that is going to bring us back to that contact page that we were on before when we set up the client and saved it initially. You'll remember that we were on this page, but we were more up towards here in contact activity. But so it's going to default to, so we named it test search. So the search name is going to be underneath buyer activity, right? So that's where you're going to find any saved searches that you have for a client, as well as it's loading in the contact activity. There's a little search activity button here, but this is where we customize it. The notifications is the buyer activity portion of the menu. So it defaults to notifying them through a Collab Center link, which you will need to, if you prefer to use Collab Center over auto emails, you can use the send welcome message to initiate them having the link to the Collab Center. If you're unfamiliar with what Collab Center is, it is essentially a client portal that they can use to see the listings that apply for their search and interact with them. So I'm going to click on View Collab Center just so we can check it out a little bit. This is not going to be the focus of this class today, but this is an option. Instead of setting up automatic emails, you can just set them to the client portal where they can check in at any time, and it allows them to go in and interact with the listings. You can see here, so they have the listings in a little quick report, but they can click on View Detail and view a fuller report of the listing, and this is what a client would see. And what they can do here is they can interact with it, they can favorite it, they can set it as a possible match, and they can reject it. And then also they can comment on listings for you to see right here. So it's an interactive way of dealing with having a search set up for them. And it is a nice option to have, but again, this is not what we're going to be covering today, but that's a little glimpse into the Collab Center. So for automatic email notifications, we want our automatic notifications here to not be Collab Center. We want to click on this drop-down menu and choose email. And so when we do that, it will bring up this page is still loading. Here we go. So it's going to bring up this sub page where you can type in an email, and set the parameters for how often you'd like them to receive emails with new matches to the listing. So it defaults to allowing a price change and new matches to be the triggers for the email or listings that qualify for the email. You can take off price change if you'd like, but you'll definitely want new match on there. So you can customize your email notifications here. You would add in, obviously their email is going to default in the to section here, and you will automatically be blind CC'd. So that is CCing someone on an email, but the recipient does not see that you are CC'd on the email, but you will automatically be included on everything that is sent to them. So you can name your recurring email subject line here. Please note that it is going to be the same subject line, and also the message that we'll write is going to be the same message every single time. So you want to probably name it something that, you know, is going to be okay to have sent over and over. So like, for instance, in our body of our email, we'll write like, hi, here are some new listings that match your search. And then you won't see it here, but once this is sent out, once these are sent out, there will be a little hyperlink right around here, right below this text, that they can click on and view the new listings, everything that qualifies. So the date range up here is important. This is the range of time that these emails will be sent out for. So it defaults to a year from the current day that you start the search. You can extend it or shorten it if you would like. And then also you can change the begin date. So let's say you don't really want to start today. You could have this start tomorrow or really anytime down the line by changing the begin date. And the notification settings are right below this date range. So this determines how often the email gets sent out to them. So you'll see that it defaults to notify them immediately. And you can, instead of doing immediately, so immediately would every time there's a new listing as determined by our status type. Every time there's a new listing or price change, it would immediately send an email out for each separate listing that qualifies to your client. If you don't want that, if that feels like too much, you can click on recurring, and that'll bring up this little set time frame link. And so when we click on set time frame, this is where we can choose how often the email goes out. So for instance, you can go by daily, weekly, or monthly, but let's say we want this once a week. It'll send one email out a week with everything collected that is a new match in that last week. So they'll get one email with all of these different listings. It's pretty nice because they're not bombarded with a bunch of emails, and it's a nice big long list for them to go and look through. So you can choose the day of the week that sends. So let's say we want it every Tuesday. And you can also customize the time that it sends out. I don't really want them to get this at midnight, so we're going to go with 1 p.m. And to set a time frame, you just need to click on OK, and then it is set. Then it is now set to be that once a week. But again, if we go back in there, you can customize it. You can have it be every day. Let's say we want it every 3 days at 1 p.m. or whatever time we want to change. You could change it to every weekday if you would like. So they would receive it once a day at the specified time just for weekdays, or you can do monthly and break it down by what segment of the month you'd like them to receive it at. But we're going to go with once a week for the purposes of this. All right, so I know that was kind of a lot. I am going to just check that chat log and see if there's any questions so far. It's taking a sec for it to pop up on my end. Okay, and so to finish off this this setup here, you just want to click on OK, and that has triggered this system to start. Okay, so for whatever reason, the chat box is not appearing on my screen currently. So alternatively, if you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question at any time as we go along here. So again, I'll just go right back into that just to make sure that we got it. Don't want to click edit search. In your automatic notification settings, you want to click on email, and right below now the search name, you can see the email notification that goes out. So you have buyer activity, test search, which is our search name, and then email notification. And you can view and review that email notification and change it and change your preferences for that email notification by clicking on edit notification. And then that brings up that same window that we were just at to edit our notifications. All right, and then it gives you at a glance also down here, without being in the editing window, all of your settings for that. All right, so something to note here also is when you send out or when you create an auto email notification system for a client, it does not email out automatically all of the initial matches for your search. So let's say that you want to email the client some of those initial matches there, not just all of the new matches from this day forward. You will want to go into client contact activity, and you'll see your search name and then the total number of matches here. And we'll click on the number of matches, and it'll bring us into the results page for that search, which looks just like when you're in a normal search and you're viewing your results. And you can select all of the listings that you would like and email them out by clicking on this email button. You want to click on Hyperlink, choose your report style, add it, and then compose email. All right. So now let's say that you've sent out, you've created this system, sent out an email already. You know that it has because you've been blind CC'd on it. And let's say you accidentally deleted that email, but you want to see, when the last time the email was sent out. You can always go down to messages history. And I haven't sent out a message yet to this contact, but you would see in this box here, you would see all of the messages that you've sent out, and you can click on them to view your past message history. So that'll be pretty useful. All right, so I know that I just covered quite a bit, and this is really all the steps that you need to take to create a automatic email notification system for a client. So I am going to stop talking right now, and I'm going to give you guys some time if you want to unmute yourself and ask questions about this. I am more than happy to answer them right now. Again, I can't see the chat view for some reason. So if you could just please unmute yourself and ask any questions that you have, that would be great.
Hi, this is Kristen. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I am. How's it going?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hi. So my question is, I have a lot of clients that are looking to buy homes in San Francisco and Sacramento, and I know you have to go into the other areas of the search. So are these setup email auto notifications the same steps?
So like for San Francisco, for instance, you would be going into SFAR. So these
Correct.
aren't the exact same steps. SFAR is on the Rapatoni system, and um, as you know, like it looks very different in SFAR. So
Mhm.
you could any San Francisco listings that are on Paragon, you can create a saved search and auto email notification for. But anything on SFAR, you would either need to go through SFAR and do it on there, which is formatted a bit differently there. Or you can actually also go on to Connect MLS, as some other data is on there. You could just make sure to add that in your data bank and create a recurring email system there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Any more questions, guys?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Good, this is Shar Santana.
Hi.
I just was wondering if this is being recorded and we can look at it again later because it's kind of hard to keep up with the notes and look at the same time.
Absolutely. Yes, this is being recorded and it will be available later. Is there any steps that I can help you out with if you missed any?
Well, I actually missed the first couple of seconds to see how you started out, if you went to contacts first or residential.
Yes. Yeah. So I did go to contacts first, right up here, and I added a contact. So I created a contact to be able to do this search and have it sync up to somebody. If you already have a contact created for that person, then you can skip this step. And then also right after that, I went into search and then did conduct a search, at which point we then saved it to the contact.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and when you save the search, you want to just make sure that you click on the Save Search As button and click on this little contact button when that comes up, so that you can assign it to the contact here.
Right. Pretty much everything that I've learned with Paragon so far, I've just kind of been flailing around, figuring it out on my own. So I recognize some of what you're doing, but there's a lot of connecting activity that I had no clue what to do, or I'm seeing one or two screens I haven't seen before. So it's definitely helpful.
Good. I'm glad. Is there anything else that I can clarify for you?
Well, actually, there's a lot, but I'll wait and let you show it first, and then see how it fits into what I know and don't know.
Sure. Yeah. So we've pretty much covered now at this point the creating the automatic email notification system. So at this point, it's just kind of questions and clarifying. So yeah, anything's on the table pertinent to the automatic email notifications.
No, I think I'm pretty good right now.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds good. And then just for everybody, something that you might notice here, now that I'm back in kind of my contact view, you'll see for our client here, the email has a little opted out option right here. That's because they need to opt in to receiving emails. And if you click on that little opted out button, you can send them an email for opting in. You want to make sure that they're opted in. There's also a separate link that I can send people after this if you're interested, that just directly will send them an opt-in email, and you can just save that for your bookmarks.
Question.
Hi,
Major.
how's it going?
I'm going well. You?
Good, thank you. How can I help you?
If my question is concerning a search for commercial property.
Mhm.
Where would those searches come from?
Yeah, so that would just be in the class. So when we click on the search icon up here, you can choose which type of commercial class that you want. There's like multi-units with 5+, business opportunities, industrial for sale and for lease, as well as commercial lots and land. And so all of these you can do a automatic notification system for by just using the same steps. You would just create your search and then do the save search as, assign it to the contact, and then you'll receive the same windows that we got here with the residential search with how to set up the notification.
My next question, where are those listings coming from? Which
So the listings that apply here is anything that's been entered into Paragon, as well as the data share partners that we have on Paragon. So MLS listings and Bay East are going to be on here as well.
no LoopNet, CoStar, none of those.
No, just those couple from Paragon. And then, as somebody else mentioned, they wanted to do like a San Francisco search. So like something on SFAR, for instance, you would need to go into SFAR to go and conduct that search and save it.
Thanks.
Absolutely. All right. If there are any more questions, that is absolutely great. And if not, that will be the end of this session. So I thank you all very much for coming in and being generous with your time. And I hope you learned something today about adding automatic email notifications in Paragon. If you have any more questions down the line, when it comes up, for not just this, but really anything MLS related, feel free to give us a call here at Bridge MLS.
Dominic, I have a quick question.
Yeah, hi.
Is this message, is this this meeting being recorded? And if it's being recorded, can we get the link so we can view it again, or not at all?
Yes, yeah, it is being recorded and it'll be sent out. And then, so that will be in the next few days, I believe. And in the meantime, you can also access some webinars, specifically also with this automatic email notification in the help section here on Paragon.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
Thank
there's
you so much.
absolutely, yeah. So this is a great tool for really everything Paragon related. There are webinars here. These are from Black Knight, the developer of Paragon, uploaded here, as well as a bunch of different topics that they cover.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So Dominic, are you going to send us the link individually, or do we need to go into the webinar square there to get this particular recording?
I believe they'll be sent out to everybody who attended this email, this webinar. I've recorded all you guys' emails, so when I have that, I'll send it out to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.